Hello again, AI business networkers, especially people who love local business networking. Today, we're taking a deep dive into Google's AI, also into the $73 trillion baby boomer market. And they are becoming AI bloomers with AI explainers as AI prosumers on the go. We're going to explain all of this to you right ahead. I'm Chief Explainer Mike Hayes, and here are my AI explainers on the go.
All right, let's talk about a huge AI opportunity that's basically hiding in plain sight.
You know, we always think tech is a young person's game, right? Well, what if we're all wrong?
So get this. Decades ago, Alvin Toffler pretty much predicted today's chaotic AI boom. He said we'd need explainers, not coders, but storytellers to make sense of it all. But Toffler had another killer prediction, and this one explains how we adopt new tech.
He called it the prosumer, basically a consumer who helps create the product they're using.
And a certain Swedish furniture store actually made this idea famous. It's wild, right?
It's simple psychology, really. When you build it, you trust it, and then you love it.
And that's exactly what AI is doing now. It's turning all of us into AI prosumers. Okay, so we have the guide and the method, but who's the audience for all this?
It's big tech's biggest blind spot, baby boomers. They control most of the country's wealth.
They don't want confusing menus. They want simple stories and guided conversations with AI.
So let's not call them consumers. Let's call them AI bloomers. It's about potential, not age.
AI bloomers are using these tools to find new purpose, creativity, and a powerful new voice.
Okay, let's put all the pieces together. This is where it gets really interesting.
So, first piece of the puzzle, the explainers, who make AI simple and approachable.
Second piece, the AI bloomers, a huge, motivated, and totally overlooked audience.
And the third piece, the prosumer method, letting them co-create with the technology.
You put those three together, bam, you've got a historic new market on your hands.
We're talking about a huge unmet need, an underserved audience, and a massive financial upside.
The key here is that this group doesn't need to be sold. They just need to be invited.
And this quote really says it all. AI just made explainers and prosumers absolutely essential.
So it really makes you wonder, right? If the tech world missed this, what else are they overlooking?
Welcome back to the deep dive. So, if you've been feeling lately that the sheer pace of innovation, especially in the AI space, is leaving you a bit winded, you're not alone.
Not at all. That feeling, that sort of digital whiplash you're describing, that's actually the exact starting point for this whole deep dive.
Right.
Today, we are connecting a philosophical warning from the past directly to the technological reality of the present.
Okay.
Our mission is to analyze a stack of sources that argue Alvin Toffler's huge 1970 work, Future Shock, isn't just relevant today. It's actively being realized through the AI revolution.
And we're focusing on two specific roles that Toffler identified, the explainer and the prosumer. And then we pivot to why this suddenly applies so urgently to a demographic that big tech is mostly ignored.
Let's just get right to the core thesis from our sources because it sums it all up perfectly.
Let's hear it.
Alvin Toffler predicted the need for explainers and prosumers. AI just made both indispensable, and baby boomers are the biggest untapped prosumer market in history.
Wow. Okay, that's a huge claim.
It is. So we're going to dive into the data, the mechanisms, all of it.
So let's start at the beginning then. Future shock. Why did Toffler, all the way back in 1970, predict this feeling of being so overwhelmed?
His core warning was, it was profound. He saw that society was headed toward this overwhelming acceleration of change.
Technological, social.
All of it. And that it would outstrip humanity's ability to adapt. He called it future shock.
And his point was that the speed of change itself was the problem.
Exactly. Not the direction of change, but the rate of it. He said it would be, and this is a quote, so fast and so confusing that it would lead to paralysis and anxiety.
Doesn't that sound exactly like trying to keep up with large language models today?
It rings incredibly true.
Every few months, there's a new model, new capabilities, new jargon, RAG or hallucination. It's a storm.
Mm-hmm.
But Toffler didn't just warn about the storm, did he? He actually predicted the infrastructure we'd need.
Precisely. He foresaw the need for a new class of specialists. He called them explainers.
Explainers.
And their job wasn't to invent the tech, but to translate its complexity into clear, usable stories for everyone else, for the people caught in the middle.
They're like interpreters of the future.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, so let's connect that to right now, to the AI world. Who are these explainers? Because the sources are very clear on who they are not.
And that's the crucial distinction. They're not data scientists. They're not engineers writing code.
So what are they then?
The explainers Toffler predicted are, well, they're human storytellers. They're designers who specialize in clarity. Their product isn't an algorithm.
Their product is trust.
Trust through clarity, exactly.
Give me a concrete example. What does an explainer actually produce in the world of generative AI?
Okay, look at it this way. AI can summarize a 100-page government document on tax policy, right?
Right, in seconds.
But an explainer's job is to take that AI summary and turn it into a guided conversational template, something that lets a small business owner ask maybe 3 simple questions and get a plain English action plan.
So they create the experience of understanding.
Yes. They bridge the gap between AI's raw power and human comprehension. Without them, the tech is just this giant, opaque machine.
So the explainer builds that bridge of clarity. But the bridge doesn't just lead to passive consumption. It leads straight to Toffler's second big idea, the prosumer.
Yes, the prosumer. It's a term he coined decades ago. A consumer who doesn't just buy a finished product, but
actively participates in creating it.
Right, and that participation creates a sense of ownership, of buy-in.
And the sources use this fantastic analogy for it, the IKEA trust effect. It's so simple, but it just clicks.
It really does. It connects this abstract idea to something we've all experienced.
Building the furniture yourself.
You know, you could buy an assembled piece, but IKEA gives you the parts. You have to build it. You fight with those little diagrams.
I'll do it there.
And because you invested that effort, you trust the bookshelf more. You even feel this weird sense of affection for it. Toffler saw that deep psychological need for participation way before it became a branding thing. It's fascinating. And if flat-tack furniture was Prosumer 1.0, the sources are saying we're now in the age of the AI prosumer.
Absolutely. We're taking co-creation to a whole new level.
Because the participation isn't just physical assembly anymore.
No, now we are collaborating with the intelligence itself.
Right.
We co-create everything. We refine messages with it. We shape decisions. We customize how we learn.
We're even structuring our own memories. The user is now the co-pilot.
The indispensable co-pilot.
Okay, so if the explainer clarifies the tool and the prosumer co-creates the value, this is setting the stage for the big opportunity. Who is most ready for this, but also the most overlooked?
And this is where we hit what the sources call the giant blind spot in big tech. They are just obsessed with chasing Gen Z, the digital natives, while they are completely failing to design for the baby boomer generation.
And the financial side of that oversight is staggering.
Breathtaking. Let's look at the hard data. The sources say that boomers control the majority of personal wealth in America. The number is something like $70 trillion. 70 trillion.
That is massive power. And they are a huge and fast-growing group of AI users, but, and this is the key, only when the tools are made simple.
When the tools are explained clearly. That's the roadblock. The sources get really specific about what boomers don't want in a tech experience.
They absolutely do. They reject the traditional complex user experience. So what does that mean? No confusing dashboards full of charts.
No hidden menus you have to dig through.
No endless pages of settings to tweak. And especially no technical jargon. Words like beta or prompt engineering.
It just triggers that feeling of being overwhelmed.
And they immediately shut down.
So the explainer's job isn't just to talk about AI. It's to redesign the whole interaction. What does the ideal experience look like for this group? What do they want?
Simplicity, guidance. They want simple, story-driven interactions. That's the explainer specialty.
Like a conversation.
A guided, step-by-step AI conversation. It should feel less like typing commands into a box and more like working with a competent human assistant. The AI needs to listen, offer feedback, and feel like a good guide, not a machine.
And that's what makes them active prosumers.
Exactly.
This shift in focus, from being a consumer to a co-creator, it really demands a new name for this demographic.
Yeah.
And the sources introduce a great one, AI bloomers.
It's such an important pivot away from the stereotype of just older users.
Right.
Boomers aren't just becoming AI consumers. AI bloomers describes older adults who are, well, blooming again because AI gives them the amplification they need.
It amplifies their existing
Their
skills.
creativity, their life experience, their problem-solving wisdom, and most critically, it amplifies their ability to structure and share their own voice, their legacy, with ease.
I think that captures the spirit of it perfectly. And this isn't just about, targeting a wealthy demographic. If you do this right, it creates this profound cross-generational opportunity.
That's where it all connects to the bigger picture. This cross-age alliance has immense potential. When you get the wisdom of boomers collaborating with the speed of AI in younger generations, everyone wins.
So let's detail that exchange. What does each side bring to this AI prosumer partnership?
It's perfectly complementary. Boomers bring the stable, crucial input. We're talking about wisdom, institutional memory, deep life experience.
The context, the stuff AI desperately needs.
Exactly. And younger generations bring the digital fluidity, the speed, the familiarity with structuring knowledge in new ways.
So imagine, using AI to distill a boomer's 40 years of mentorship experience into an interactive coaching program for someone just starting out.
That is the synergy. That's it right there.
And the explainer is the linchpin, the thing that lets it all happen.
Yes. Explainable AI is the bridge, not just between the human and the machine, but between the generations. It allows prosumers of all ages, but especially the bloomers, to co-create the future together.
It proves Toffler's prediction correct just 5 decades later. Okay, so let's synthesize this. We have the AI bloomer, the necessity of the explainer, and this AI prosumer environment. What does this convergence actually mean as a historic opportunity for someone listening?
It means we have a perfect storm: demographic need, psychological readiness, and a massive financial incentive all hitting at once.
A huge unmet need for clarity.
A huge, underserved, wealthy audience in the AI boomers. And because of that, a huge financial upside for the guides, the explainers, who can translate technical power into human experiences.
This is not a niche market.
It's a whole wave of economic redesign.
So the approach for these explainers, it has to be about an invitation, right? Not a sales pitch.
That is the most critical insight from the sources. Boomers don't need to be convinced about AI. They need to be invited to use it to amplify their own potential.
Invited to become co-creators, co-storytellers.
Co-thinkers, co-reasoners. They need to be handed the keys through an explainer-designed interface to become true AI prosumers.
And what are the final outcomes here? What does blooming, again, actually look like in practice?
The outcomes move beyond just productivity. They go into purpose. Explainers can help boomers realize personal projects they thought were impossible because of age or tech barriers.
Like writing a memoir.
Or structuring a lifetime of financial data. Or launching a small consulting service with AI as your assistant. It helps them re-engage with purpose, amplify their voice, and really transition into a new, meaningful phase of life.
This is exactly the kind of wave Toffler's map was showing us.
Demographic, psychological, economic, and cultural. All of it.
What stands out to me is just how elegant the whole connection is. Toffler provided the map, decades ago. Explainers for clarity, prosumers for participation.
And AI provided the scale.
With baby boomers, the AI bloomers, as the essential demographic that makes the whole ecosystem finally, boom.
And this raises a really powerful question for you, the learner, to think about. If the ultimate value of AI for the AI bloomer is amplifying their wisdom, their creativity, their voice, what is the most profound piece of life experience or knowledge, maybe currently locked away in their past, that they are now ready to co-create or translate for the world using this new capability?
Think about that invitation to co-create. Thank you for diving deep with us into the future that Toffler mapped out. Use this knowledge wisely. We'll talk to you next time.